Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Seems there are been some documents released by China. Yeah, that terrible country. You know, the people that hurts and murders, maims, rapes, and does everything horrible to the Uyghur Muslims. Yeah, those people. That Pacific country, I would say, the people are necessarily under a very democratic, or not democratic, but rather communist rule, to where they are forced to do the China's bidding, or face to face, or seem to face, death. So, yeah, but they have done one good thing, which is extremely rare for China in any regard, is that they have released proof of documents of Hunter Biden. So, what that means is this. China coughs up the documents. Released proof of millions of dollars of payments from China firm to Hunter Biden, and they're just getting started. Colorado Attorney Kevin Evans says the Biden Department of Justice is hiding hundreds of documents on gifts Joe and Hunter Biden received from China. Evans sued in the DOJ in March after he said the agency failed to comply with its Freedom of Information Act request for records about the overseas business relations of Joe Biden's son and brother James Biden. Which, by the way, they won't be able to hide behind that anymore if they proceed to go with this TikTok ban, aka the Restrict Act, which would prevent that Information Act from even coming into play at all. I remember making a video of that before, and that really needs to not go through. It's just a way of means. So yeah. The Gateway Pundit reported on the giant diamond gifted to Hunter Biden from a Yin Yanming. Then the chairman of CFC, China Energy Company, the Gateway Pundit reported in October 2020 that this diamond was estimated to be worth $80,000. Hunter claimed it was worth $10,000. The diamond in police custody was listed as 3.1 carats. My apologies. The evidence against Hunter and Joe Biden that is already public and voluminous is not clear what they are still hiding. Much of the evidence against the Biden crime family was discovered in the Hunter Biden's laptop that the FBI hid from investigators and now claims is lost somewhere after they retrieved it in 2019. Earlier this week, John Sullivan reported that China is starting to release documents to Senate Republicans on dealings with the Biden crime family. China is starting to cough up the documents. They want the Biden regime to know who is boss. It appears the American president is compromised. Which, by the way, we already knew this. We knew that Joe Biden was a very compromisable person. He is not a good person. He is a negative person of all things to be considered, and he has done more damage to black people, more damage to Americans, more damage across the world than anything else possible. We have seen the things that he has done, and it's been a very bad detriment. He's only been in office, when he was in office for about a year, it was already a problem. Now, he's been in office for 2 years, and it's been a bloody catastrophe. And I remember saying this to a family member once before, that our rights are going to be threatened, or potentially removed. Things are going to start getting worse, and she thought that I was being completely insane, that all my ideas were wrong. Well, guess what's happening now? This is the real case. You see, these far left people don't seem to understand anything at all. That they think that we're wrong on all of our assessments or our opinions, and they seem to end up, having to take the full reality pill that we seem to be right because they just can't read between the lines, or they're too stupid to acknowledge anything. That's just the way I call it. But be as it may. Wisconsin GOP Senator Ron Johnson says the Chinese-American financial institution Cathaway Bank has given Senate Republicans records showing millions of dollars going from Chinese companies to President Biden's son, Hunter Biden. Republicans and others started raising concerns of portraying President Biden's successful 2020 White House campaign, if not earlier, that Hunter Biden used the family member name and influence while his father was vice president to make millions in overseas business deals, which also could have compromised the U.S. national security. Johnson told the Washington Times the records show the Biden family involved with the now defunct CFC China Energy, which had connections to the Chinese Communist Party. The firm reported gave $1 million to Hudson West III, which was a joint venture owned by Hunter Biden and Ongwing Dong, a business associate of CFC's founder and chairman Yang Yanming, according to the bank records. In my mind, said Johnson, it's the Chinese government telling Joe Biden, we got the goods on you, buddy, and we're willing to just shut up. After years of the deep state, their liberal mainstream policies, and the Democratic Party of making up stories about President Trump having ties with Russia, it now appears we now have a U.S. president who is owned by the communist China. I agree with that. I mean, again, as I said, this is not really a surprise to anyone. but we're actually going to see legitimate documents being propped up by China. How much that's going to be released between now and next year, I guess you could with more to tell. But yeah, it is a problem in this sense, and it's actually hilarious. So what I would like to say is that maybe the things that we need to do with Biden is really put him in jail. And I believe that there are some Republican DAs that are actually willing to do this. They're actually willing to go out of their way to try to indict Biden. So there are a lot of things that are going up here that needs to happen. And I think more of these documents that are released to China and more of them being released to Republicans is going to really show on how much that our current administration is insanely corrupt, which obviously you guys that are watching this already know. And what we could actually do is seriously to actually put maybe Biden into jail. Now, I don't care too much about the Hunter Biden thing, but Joe Biden is another issue altogether. I think there's a lot of other issues that's happening, and I think there's a lot more dark secrets that Joe Biden is within that needs to be concerned. So, yeah, this is what's happening. Not a big story, but it is a story nonetheless that I think is where that we should, maybe be somewhat concerned about, because this is shaking up the whole political spectrum by a great margin. This is just showing us more proof of how corrupt our politicians and the way our politics is, and this is not going to be looking too great for the duo Bidens. And hopefully some actual damage and repercussion starts happening, and Republicans get their ass in gear, so that way, maybe, just maybe, we could fix our country and put it on the backtrack to where we can get our dollar back and not be in hell. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.